Welcome back, travelers. Today we're going to be talking about our home away from home.
Art of Animation Resort at Disney World.
So if you'd like to hear more, grab your cup of coffee.
Because we're blasting off. So we stayed at Art of Animation, 3 times now?
Yeah, three times.
All 3 times, a week at a time. We've stayed at the Little Mermaid suite and, room. They're not suites, right?
Yeah, it's just a standard room.
And then we stayed in the Little Nemo suites.
Yes.
And we've got plenty of walking time through the Lion King area.
Yes.
But we'll get into that in a bit.
Yeah.
But just like our Port Orleans review, what we're going to do is we're going to start at the front in the lobby and work our way through.
Yeah.
So, right when you get into the lobby, of course, right when you pull up, you see these giant murals of different characters.
Yes. I thought that was, a really nice touch. It's like it's coming out at you before you even enter the building.
Right. And it looks like they're on giant, paint notepads, yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was really good, for being our first time when we went with Aurora, and got to see the characters on the side of the building, and you got to drive along the building as you park and all. So I think that was a great intro to it.
And then you walk right in, and it's like you're walking straight into this, animation wonderland, right?
Yeah.
There's artwork everywhere, concept art all over the walls. Even the chandelier was made out of concept art and different drawings. It was really pretty.
I have to say, spoiler alert, this I think is our favorite, or at least for me. I don't know, speak for you.
I mean, it's the most themed resort that we have stayed at, hands down. And the most themed resort that we have seen. We've done a lot of research. We've done a lot of research on a lot of different resorts, and I haven't seen one that is as themed as Art of Animation.
Yeah, and when I say themed, they're all themed, right? But this one,
Disney themed.
It is so Disney cartoon themed. I don't know if it has to do with us growing up in the 90s.
I think that's also, too. It's not just theming, it's 90s theming, right? It's all the 90s cartoon.
I feel like it gives you that feeling when you used to go into a Disney store when you were a kid. You're just immersed in this, world. And that's what you want, I feel, when you go to Disney. You want to be immersed in this bubble. And this hotel gives you that feeling. Hands down, I don't know if we felt that any other place, Yeah. And maybe that's why it's my favorite. Plus, it has Ariel, which is one of my faves. So that doesn't hurt to see her all over the place. But anyway.
Thinking about it more and more, just as we're sitting here, a 90s themed all across the board would have been really cool. But I think Cars and Nemo both are early 2000s, 2010s.
Well, I mean, because we were so immersed, that was the era of cartoons.
It's that Disney Renaissance era.
So I feel like that whole that resort, it's just you see the cartoons everywhere.
Yeah.
And I remember as a kid, you would see them, show back when the animators were doing the cells one by one, and that's the kind of theme in the beginning. It's all the different cells. It's all their concept art of the different, Ariel, Lion King, Cars, them sketching it out, the different, what was it? Timons and Pumbas.
Yeah.
The different Simbas, the different cars, different Ursulas were on the wall. So
some of those concepts are pretty scary looking too.
Yeah.
But and then they have, so you walk in, on this side is the reception area. They have this a whole bunch of reception areas. Loads of color on the walls, all the concept art pieces, and then there's even kind of a watercolor cell shaded type of wall that's on this side leading into the ink and paint shop. But if you go that way, there's also a little seating area for the kids, so while reception's going on, they can sit down and watch movies and whatnot.
Yeah, well, there's an artist area.
Yeah.
And then they have an artist that comes in. I don't know if it's every day, but they come in and they do sketches, and you can like follow along with them, or you can just watch them. And what's really cool is that the art sketches that they make, they sell it in the ink and paint gift shop. So that's a big plus.
Yeah. And then, so yeah, really nice area, nice and open, plenty of room for people to walk around and do what they have to do whenever they're dealing with reception.
Definitely.
And then if you keep going straight towards the Nemo pool, like if you keep going straight through the front entrance all the way back, you'll get to the Nemo pool. But right before the exit, you'll come across the arcade.
Yes.
And we were in that arcade a good bit last time we stayed there. Really fun time, a lot of cool stuff. I even have a shot of him riding on a surfboard thing. Or was it?
That was like a secret. Yeah, it was a surfboard.
She's off in the background. I'll zoom in on it for you guys.
We were having fun. We just went swimming that night, and so we went in the arcade waiting for the rest of our group to meet up to go eat dinner. So, what better way?
It was pretty fun, the whole group just slowly gathering together in the arcade.
Yeah.
It was a fun experience.
Yeah.
But then
that one was like when a lot of our family came. So
yeah. Nothing like special to call out about the arcade in general. I mean, it was pretty standard arcade. Yeah, nothing that really like screams, hey, this is unique to Disney. They did have a photo booth that was interesting. They had some different like little things you can do on the photo booth, like you could Hulk out or something.
Oh,
like
really?
That. That
I didn't see that.
Could,
okay.
it would turn you green and make you look like
That's
the Hulk.
cute.
But other than that, it didn't, scream Disney or anything. But it was cool.
Okay.
And then I guess we'll head into the ink and paint shop next. So
Yeah.
you head this way, and there's the big ink and paint shop.
Yes.
This is hands down my favorite gift shop in the entirety of Disney World.
Yeah. And if you've seen our other review about Port Orleans, this is what we compared it to.
Right.
This area is huge. It's like twice, maybe 2.5 sizes bigger than the Port Orleans one. So
Right. Yeah, so the walkway kind of cuts right in between the shop. So you enter, and then there's an exit right there that leads you to the food court. And then on either side, there's just shopping.
Yes. Yeah, there's cups and clothes and
Lots of
art of animation.
and art of animation stuff.
Yes.
It's very tailored to the art side of things. There's a lot of hand-drawn artwork that you can pick up.
Yes. Which we did.
Oh, yeah.
Several.
Yeah.
Basically.
And it's the little sketch art that you can find. So, yeah, I mean, our very first experience with art of animation was coming through those doors, seeing the chandelier, seeing the art, and then going straight into that gift shop. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that was an experience.
Yes. I know Aurora was 3, and it was obviously her first time there, and she saw this wall of all the plushies that they had. And I don't know why she gravitated to this light pink Minnie Mouse baby, and she just had to have it. And she literally bawled her eyes, crying, screaming that she had to have this Minnie Mouse. And we didn't even check in yet.
We didn't even check in.
I was like, we have to go check in, baby. Let's come back to it, and we promised we'll
it's like
get
she's
it.
on the floor crying.
She's crying.
She's like,
other parents are looking at us like, how dare you not get your job? I'm like, we literally walked through the door. It's been 2 minutes. Needless to say, we bought the Minnie Mouse, and then we went to check in. So
yep.
But
that was the first of many Disney babies, because if you've been on Disney property, that's a big old thing. One of the stuffed animals variations they have are these little babies with these little
like
blankets that they're in, and that we have like 20 of them now.
A whole bunch of them. It's crazy. Our kids love them. So, and they are cute. I mean, I can't say anything. They make them look really cute.
Well,
so, but anyway, through the ink and paint shop is the food court. And here again, I have to say, I love the food court. I love the food.
It's organized well.
Very,
The drink stations kind of wrap around really well. It's easy to access your drink stations at any point. Mm-hmm. Where the food is placed versus seating, there's like tons of seating. And then each little spot is kind of themed a little different. They have like a little area that's themed like Nemo, a little area that's themed like Cars. Mm-hmm. And it's all very animation, right?
Yeah.
And then the food itself was good.
Yeah. And for breakfast, they do the traditional waffles. But I was going to say,
Disney breakfast.
The waffles there, they have like the special characters. I want to say they have Nemo.
They have the Simba
waffles there. So it's not just like the Mickey Mouse. They have those characters as well. I don't remember if we've had breakfast there, but we've had lunch and dinner.
Yeah,
there.
They have a surf and turf burger over there that is 10 times better than the surf and turf burger over at Port Orleans.
I don't even think it's surf and turf. I think it's surf and surf.
It's surf and surf. Oh, yeah. That's true. It wasn't surf and turf. It was surf and surf.
It was like a crab cake and a shrimp. I don't know if they still have it, but if you see it on the menu, you've got to get it. It's real crab, and if you know us from Louisiana, so like that brings me home. Don't give me no imitation. Okay. So it was great. They had shrimp and grits there as well. We've also had it at Port Orleans. I love it so much better at the
no, it was better at
Nemo. Yeah, we're going to always say Art of Animation. AOA. We'll say that. Yeah, that was great. I know we've ordered pizza there. And we've ordered like a whole pizza.
The pizza's pretty standard. Yeah. It's I didn't find it any different than the one at Port Orleans. It's that Disney pizza. Right? Yeah. The only time you're going to get Disney pizza that's a little different is if you go to like the Italy Pavilion in Epcot or something like that. I think the Muppets area has a pizza place that might be a little
Rizzo's.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, and they have your grab and go station. They have a really nice one. They have a couple of coolers with sandwiches and drinks. And they have like breakfast items.
Their desserts were
like
always
desserts. Themed. I love their desserts. They were like fully stocked with desserts. I mean, I think this past time when we went every afternoon, when we were staying in Nemo, we were always going to get us a dessert, and that was really fun.
Yeah. They had a much bigger selection, I feel, than Port Orleans had.
Yes, for sure. I think Port Orleans was more focused on their beignets.
Yeah.
They had a couple of desserts.
Right, that's true, too.
But I think the beignets was the big ticket there. But here, and I can't complain about the desserts. Like, they were a good size. They tasted really good. I mean, hands down. It's one of our favorites for a reason, right?
Yeah. So. No. And one of those reasons is not just the theming of the lobby, but the theming of the entire area. So we stayed at Little Mermaid, and we've stayed at Nemo. So we're going to talk about Little Mermaid first, I think.
Yeah.
We stayed there twice in Little Mermaid room. The second time we stayed, it started feeling a little small.
Yeah.
It is a standard room. It's about the same size as your standard room at Pop Century. I think it's the exact same size because that was the buildings that were built as part of the second tier of Pop Century before they decided to switch it up and do Art of Animation instead.
Yes, yes.
So it's the same size as the Pop Century ones. Not horrible. I mean, they're okay.
What, the room
right,
itself?
Right. As far as the size, they're not bad. I mean at the time, for the three of us going, it worked out.
Yeah, we can fit our stroller in there perfectly fine, all of our extra luggage. We had enough space between us.
The theming was good. It was very aerial. I mean, it had these deck portholes and stuff.
Yeah.
And
my favorite in the room, hands down, is the shower.
Oh, yeah, the shower is awesome.
I mean, if you can tell me where to buy those tile pieces,
so
I would love
what she's talking about is whenever you open the shower curtain, you are in Ariel's grotto, right? So you see all the things she's collected, and you're like underwater, so it's kind of gray looking, and it's but it's super cool. It is.
I mean, that, it just gets me. And yes, I'm a big Ariel fan, so I'm all about it. And I thank you for letting me stay there twice. Because I know it's a probably more on the more feminine side kind of room, Yeah,
so. I mean, it wasn't. Yeah,
So, thank you for letting me experience.
It was cool though, it was just diving into that, aerial aesthetic.
Got it.
It was they had a bit of a ship kind of theme to it, so you can kind of play off that, with Eric and all that.
Yeah, they had
So it was
Max,
kind
and they
of along
had
that,
Eric,
yeah.
a picture of him.
And then outside of the room, of course, there's the theming outside. You have the giant statues of Eric. Not Eric. Ariel, Ursula, and King Trident.
Yes.
And then you have the
Massive.
smaller statues. You have the Eric statue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The statue.
And then you have the thing of
the thingamabob. Yeah. And they got a treasure chest, the dinglehopper, and they have a bunch of fish all over the place as if they're singing and they're
dancing, and they're about to do their whole little under the sea dance number.
Sea. I mean, it's so themed, and they have a lot of grass around. But I think that kind of goes with the theming to make it feel kind of like the seaweed.
And the pool's not bad. The pool's all right. It's a pretty standard pool. Mm-hmm. But with the aerial theming all the way around you, it feels good.
We went swimming.
The theming wise, it's a lot like the theming in Pop Century, where you have your giant big centerpieces with a bunch of centerpieers all around, and then you have the balconies that have stuff all on it. Only this is just completely and total aerial.
Yes. You're immersed in that,
right? And
I loved every bit of it. If I had to take a negative away from it, it's just that Little Mermaid. It's at the very back of the resort, so just know that
you will get acquainted with the Lion King area.
Yes.
Which is really cool. The outside is awesome. There's this little playground with the elephant boneyard.
Yes.
And you have the elephant bones, and the kids can run through
it
and walk through it.
Can
There's
go
a cave and everything.
It's got that squishy
Super
padding.
cool.
That's really fun.
And then there's a whole log that you could walk under with Timon, Simba, and Pumbaa.
Yes.
Walking along it, doing their Hakuna Matata moment. Mm-hmm. And then you have Mufasa standing on Pride Rock, and
Rafiki's out. Yes.
And then you have Scar. I mean, really cool elements in that place for sure. We never stayed in the rooms just because we felt the rooms looked kind of bland when we looked on them online. Not to mention we were kind of done with that area because of how often you had to walk through it to get to the Little Mermaid.
Right. Well, and I don't think we mentioned in the beginning, Art of Animation, the whole property, there's 3 pools on the property. Right. And Lion King doesn't have
the pool.
So Ariel has one, the Cars Land has one, and Nemo. So, and I guess maybe that's why they did that play area with Lion King.
So, Little Mermaid, all the way in the back, right? Mm-hmm. And the times we stayed at Little Mermaid, not only were we all the way in the back, but we were all the way in the back. If you stay in Little Mermaid, be prepared for a 10 to 15 minute hike to get to the buses.
You think it was that long?
Maybe longer. It was long.
Especially if we were on the backside.
Because you have to walk through Little Mermaid.
Pop Century.
And then,
across the way. We were on the backside of it. So we had to walk around.
You got to walk through Little Mermaid, walk through Lion King, and then go through the lobby. Mm-hmm. So you're passing by Nemo too. You have to see almost the entire resort in order to get out of that thing.
Yeah.
So you can walk around it and go through the parking lot area to get to where you need to get to with the buses. Uh-huh. But that's just a boring walk. It's the same distance.
Yes.
So I don't know. Overall, it just the rooms were cool. If you like Little Mermaid, go for it.
Yeah.
Just be ready for the walks in the morning, and even worse, the walks at night on the way back.
I think that was the worst.
Were the ones that because the walks in the morning is kind of cool. You're like, oh, it's Little Mermaid. Oh yeah, Hakuna Matata.
And they're playing some music. Yeah. You can hear. They have speakers out everywhere. So
at night though,
getting your day started.
Yeah, you're tired. You're done. You're ready to get to your room, right?
Yeah, we were pushing that stroller fast to get home to the resort.
So.
But I did want to mention too that Art of Animation, because the 3 areas are family suites, those cost more.
Yeah, Cars, Nemo, and Lion King cost more.
Cost more because it's a family suite. So if you ever want to stay at Art of Animation, but you can get away with staying at the Little Mermaid, at a significantly cheaper price. Right. I do recommend it doing that way, so just so you can experience.
I would recommend Art of Animation over Pop Century.
Yes.
Even if you stay in at the Little Mermaid rooms, because the theming of that area is just so much cooler. I mean, and you still have access to the Skyliner and everything that Pop Century has. So between the ink and paint shop and the Landscape of Flavors, I think they call it, or something like that. No,
the food court. Mm-hmm.
And was that it? I think.
That's it. You got it. You pulled that out of your memory bank.
Yeah, that just came straight out of nowhere. But and yeah, in the pools, because the pools for the Nemo pool used to play music underneath the water. Apparently, they don't do that anymore.
They stopped. Yes.
I don't know why they would stop doing that. I wonder if there was something going on. But anyway, and then the Cars has the Cozy Cone Hotel, and then they have all the cars set up all around. We haven't stayed at the Cars area. We barely briefly looked at the Cars.
I think we only went through it because we parked on that side. So we had to pass through it a bit.
Past it to get to Nemo.
Yeah.
And look, it looks cool. If you're into cars, it's a great place to stay.
Absolutely. Yes.
But we were going to Nemo, and Nemo was really cool. Really cool.
Stop it.
What?
You're trying to get all your Nemo references in there. It's really cool.
I don't get my own reference on this one.
I thought you were trying to be funny.
Oh, no.
Because it's cool water.
Oh,
type.
Yeah.
No?
I know. It goes deep.
No.
But no, I mean, the pool's really nice. You walk in to the outside, walk into the out, and there's a giant sea anemone on the end of the pool with Nemo and Marlin in it, and then you have Crush is the name of the turtle, right?
The big one, yeah.
Yeah, he's this huge statue over there, and then you have the other one, the big manta ray. That's over there on the other side, and all the fish everywhere, and then you have the giant the seagulls.
That's what I wanted to say, though. Mine.
And every now and then, like every hour or so, they go mine. You'll hear them go off,
and you'll hear them in the morning, especially like if you're walking. When we used to walk through Little Mermaid, we would wait to hear them mine.
Yeah. No, it's funny, when we stayed at Nemo, we really didn't hear them all that much.
No, but it was
mainly because we were right there. You know, another cool thing about Nemo is you also have the pool bar too. So if you're getting the drink cups with the dining plan, or just getting the drink cups, period. Yeah. You can refill them at the pool bar. They have a fountain area that you can get your drinks, and the pool bar doesn't have to be open for you to do that.
Oh, really? It just has like a kiosk?
It has like this side area that has the drinks.
Okay. That's where you got all your drinks when you went.
When we went, I don't know if they upgraded to the freestyle machines over there yet.
Oh, okay.
That was before the freestyle machines, so I don't know.
Yeah. Sounds like we got to go test out that theory.
Oh, really? Another excuse to go on another Disney trip. I think that's what this entire thing is about, is just a big ploy to where somebody can go on more Disney trips.
I would never.
But, you know, I'm not complaining.
I probably wouldn't have to twist your arm too hard.
Nope.
Especially to say that our youngest hasn't seen Art of Animation. Yeah. And that's what really torn us on our last trip, that we wanted to go back there, because our oldest and our second, their first trips were at Art of Animation. I mean, and honestly, when you see your kids go and their eyes just
see all these giant characters, and
they're just like in awe. I mean, you're in awe because the presence of everything alone is ginormous. But like, to see them, I am just like, you know, it just gets me.
And then they love playing on that like coral reef fun zone area. They had like a slide area, jungle climber.
I hope we're really describing everything right, because whenever you first walk
out of the main lobby, you're in Nemo area. Yeah. You see the gate for the pool. They got the pool. The pool's huge. Like the big blue pool it's
massive.
Crazy.
Yeah.
They have the big anemone behind it. They have a little splash pad area by the anemone. Yes. And then just past the anemone is a coral reef play set zone.
A dry area.
That the kids can play in. And they would jump on that thing every morning on the way to the Skyliner and stuff like that.
We didn't get to go in the pool because I think when we went, it was kind of on the cooler side.
Yeah.
So they played on that play area every day. In the morning, on the way to the Skyliner, they were like, can we get a slide in? And they would go run up on it, do a slide, and then we'd make our way to the Skyliner.
Yeah, 3 out of the 5 days we stayed there, we went to the Skyliner.
Yes.
So we completely skipped the front area.
Yeah, to take the bus.
Talk about saving some money at the gift shop. Just passing by every time. But,
exactly.
Yeah.
But that Skyliner is another reason why we love that resort. I know it's something newer, so the first couple of times we went, they didn't have it.
Right.
But now
they
that
completely
we stayed,
changed the transportation game over there.
I mean, it just, between that and my love for animation, just became even more. Because the Skyliner, it's like a ride in itself.
Yeah.
You know, so to start your morning on a ride was pretty cool, you know. And we'd go get our coffees and we'd go get on the Skyliner.
And it's kind of like a little personal space, too. It's so much better than getting on a bus because get on the bus, you're getting packed in like freaking sardines on that bus trying to get to wherever you're going. Whereas on the Skyliner, you get on your single Skyliner. If you have a stroller or whatever, that rolls right on.
Yes.
You know, and you're on your Skyliner thing and you're good. And you don't have to worry about anybody else necessarily being with you unless you do have people with you because it's crowded. But even then, like, sometimes that lends for some nice moments. Yeah.
No, the last time we went with some family, I think we had, it was the 4 of us. Mm-hmm. 5, 6. There was 7 of us, plus the stroller. And we all fit comfortably on the Skyliner. You know, I mean, granted, 2 were kids, so they're smaller, but everybody else was an adult, and we had plenty of room, I found, even with the stroller being upright in the middle of our feet. It was great. I love the Skyliner, and
I think they need to make it to where it goes to every park.
I wish they would, especially at the other...
Yeah. And that kind of has something to do with that Omni-Mover type theme, you know? It's just constantly in motion, constantly moving. I think it just gets people to where they need to get in a better way.
Yeah.
It might not be as fast as a bus, if you think about it, just going from point A to B, because it's not the fastest mode of transportation, but it's definitely more pleasant.
I know. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. I really enjoyed the time together, and we could all kind of talk amongst ourselves about what we're planning on doing that day and just kind of get ready. I mean, we can do it on the bus.
Bus stops,
but the bus, it's like,
and, you know,
or if you're standing and you're normally like holding the stroller, we're holding stuff, and we're just like all kind of clinched up, like, oh, and it got the kids.
You don't have to worry about a bunch of line behind you trying to get on the bus with the stroller and collapsing it and doing all this. This turned into a whole transportation thing. We should do a video just on transportation. But back to Nemo.
So anyway, they have a lot of kids' activities right in front. You know, the Skyliner right there. I was going to say another thing. I know we're talking about Skyliner, but like our family actually stayed in Pop Century because the Skyliner, Pop Century.
They stayed at a preferred room in Pop, and we stayed in Nemo. And because of where that's located, it's right across the way to Hourglass Lake. Mm-hmm. So they have a lake that's shaped like an hourglass with a bridge that connects the two, Pop Century and Animation. Originally, it was supposed to be Pop Century as a whole, and that was going to be the early centuries, and this was going to be like the millennial centuries. So you would have had 2000 on, which would have been cool, but I still much rather Art of Animation.
Yeah.
And that was connected by the generation gap bridge is what they called it, I think.
That's nice.
So that bridge is where the Skyliner is. So we met up with our family from Pop Century at the Skyliner most of the days because it was just like, whoop.
We would just call each other, say when we're walking out.
So one day we just walked all the way across and just, there we were. We were in the main area of Pop Century just hanging out. We were closer to Pop Century in Little Nemo than we were to the last building of Little Mermaid.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, so like that's a tip for you too. Like if part of your family wants to come, but I know the price of the family suites, you know, are more up there. So like you can get that same benefit of the Skyliner at Pop Century.
Yeah.
And your family's like nearby and they can come over and y'all can hang out together. Cause,
or if you just want the outdoor theming, which is all outdoors, you have the Little Mermaid, and of course you have flavors, landscape of flavors, and the ink thing. It's all easily accessible from Pop Century.
Yeah.
Like, so if you wanted to experience that one day, but you wanted to stay at Pop, you could very well decide to do a resort day and just head over the bridge.
Oh, absolutely. And that'd be fun. Because Art of Animation also does like some of the other activities they all do. So they have the movies Under the Stars, and they have tie-dye, they have s'more night, they have a couple of signs out when every day is an activity. So that's fun if you plan to do a resort day at Art of Animation. So as I
But yeah, you can stay at Pop Century and just spend a day over at Art of Animation. Just walk over and enjoy the scenery and the sights.
Absolutely, yeah. That would be so much fun.
So the room at Nemo itself, we didn't get into that.
Oh, yeah.
So the room itself, it has a bedroom,
Yes.
a bathroom, a living room, a kind of kitchen area, and another bathroom. The kitchen area I'm counting as the area with the Murphy bed table, where you have a table that can sit four, but it folds down into a Murphy bed. Mm-hmm. It's a really cute little bed too, because it has like Nemo sleeping in an
with
anemone.
Marlin, yeah.
And it has like little lights on it whenever you open it up and everything. Yeah. And then you got the bathroom, which was pretty standard bathroom. I didn't find really anything too much into it. They had like a submarine porthole type mirror on it.
Well, it has a bathtub. So that was really nice for the kids, because I was able to kind of put them in the bathtub to get them taking a bath. Because the bathroom that the bedroom has is a walk-in shower. So that was really nice for us. So yeah, and it has like a small, what would you call it, kitchenette?
Yeah,
it has a sink
with like a little refrigerator,
a microwave. They did have like some plates and silverware for you to have. There's more at the Landscape of Flavors, coffee, all those kind of extra things, essentials. They did have a couch that folds out into a bed as well. So I think the room overall can hold like 6 adults.
The couch is right there facing like a dresser with a TV. And then the bedroom was really nice, had a TV in the bedroom too. So there's TV in the living room, TV in the bedroom, and a bed in the bedroom. And the living room and the bedroom had windows leading out towards the pool. At least the place where we stayed.
Where we stayed, our view was right outside the pool, which was fun. That we could see all the activity, if there was a lot of people in the pool, what was kind of going on. So that was really fun. And there's also dressers. Yeah. So there's dressers in the bedroom. There's a set of dressers in the living room. So we used those a lot because we had to unpack a good bit.
I will say my biggest con with it is it doesn't feel homey.
Yeah.
It feels like very industrial in a way, because they updated it and they got rid of the carpeting.
Yeah.
And they put this like blue tile. And it's very blue.
I don't even think it's tile. I think it's just
that rubber. It's that rubber tile stuff.
You think? I want to say it's cement floor, because it just felt cold.
It is cold. It is a cold floor, and it's like the beds are lifted high to where you can put your luggage in it. Yeah, but it just also just brings more empty space. I don't know. It's just something about it. It feels very industrial. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. They have, the fish that look like a fish.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is a bunch of little fish that
make a big fish.
Those little silver fish that they put them right on. The lights were like bubbles and looked really cool. Yeah. And they had theming, right? And the theming was cute. I just don't know. It just didn't feel very warm, I guess that's the way I'm trying to put it. It felt...
I think, because before we had went... we had seen pictures and all of the carpet, and maybe because we're carpet people, we do like carpet in our bedrooms and all. But yeah, I agree. It's something about that flooring. I think that threw me off. But I think the room overall,
it was good.
It was a good room.
It was big. It was a nice size. The couch was decent. When we went, it was right after COVID, so they didn't do any of the cleaning and stuff. So we had some mishaps with that. We didn't, our room was a mess come the end of it.
Right. I know that's probably our fault because at the end of the day, when you come back to the parks, like I'm not thinking.
Normally they'll come in like every other day now,
Yeah.
or every day, and they'll make the beds. They'll do their normal, kind of take out the trash type stuff.
Yeah.
When we went, it was leave your trash outside the door for it to be picked up.
Yeah.
And that was a big rush request.
And we didn't get to use too much the Murphy bed when we were there. We did, I think, like the first night, but eventually we kept putting a lot of items on top of the table.
Right.
And so we would have to clear off the table in order to pull the Murphy bed down and then put the stuff back on the next day. And I was like, this is just too much. So we left the items on, and it was just the 4 of us at the time. So the kids we put them on the pull-out couch.
Yeah.
And then we stayed in the bedroom. But overall, I think there's plenty of space. And the next time we go back, there's family of 5. We'll have plenty of room.
Yeah.
To be up in there.
I don't know when we'll be back though. The next time we're staying at
Beach Club.
Beach Club. So the main deluxe now.
Yeah.
See, we're gonna go back to.
Oh yeah, no, have to go see it.
Then get back to me.
I don't know.
I do want to stay in the cars area sometime.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of weird because since we like the Skyliner and we like the distance from the Skyliner that Nemo provides, and I don't know, cars looks less and less interesting to me as, time goes on.
I mean, I think all those perks of Nemo being right outside of the road. I mean, really the time that we stayed, it spoiled us because we walked through when you come home, from the park.
Right.
And then we go back to the room, kind of freshen up, and then go grab dinner at Landscape, or we'll go grab us some drinks or whatever, grab a snack, and then go right back to the room. We're right there.
And the room theming is great and all, but honestly, where the theming for Art of Animation is outdoors. So you don't have to stay in that suite in order to get this experience of what the theming is.
No.
So
I think the location is what got me first, and then second is.
So you could always just go visit the cars area.
Yeah,
Maybe.
absolutely.
Right.
I did also want to talk about the transportation. I know we talked a bit about the Skyliner, but they do have buses as well. And in our other review, we talked about the transportation there and how it was. We can do a link to show you to do about that one. The buses, I think, were just so much more organized.
The buses got to the destinations faster. I never felt like we were waiting on a bus in Art of Animation.
They have multiple spots.
Right.
That's, I think, first and foremost, when you're outside, they have different queues for each park. So you're going to have a bus per park, and they're going to have another queue for the water parks.
Yeah.
So like Texan Lagoon and all like that. So Disney, and another one for Disney Sprays. So each one has its own space for you to go line up in. And those buses come in like clockwork, especially first thing in the morning. I think they have the TVs outside.
The TVs tell you when the next bus
the times, but those come in, they roll in and they roll out.
And the key there isn't even getting to the parks. It's coming home from the parks. Our biggest gripe with Port Orleans was coming home from the parks.
Mm-hmm.
And the wait for those buses. When it comes to Hollywood Studios Epcot, you don't have to worry about that with Art of Animation because you just jump on the Skyliner and you're done. With Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom, though, you do have to go to the very last spot in the lines on the bus routes in order to get to where the bus stops are.
Yeah.
But I never recall, I don't recall waiting for the bus that way. They've always had a bus there or was coming. It was cycling through relatively fast.
Never had a problem with the buses getting there. It was just
we didn't have to wait 30 plus minutes for a bus or wait for somebody to call a bus or anything like that like we did at Port Orleans.
It just took us so long to get there. Because even though you feel like Art of Animation may be like a moderate resort or deluxe resort, it's not. It's still considered a value resort. So, and unfortunately, because of that, the value resorts, the buses are all the way at the end. So you got to truck it to get to the buses. And that might be like a little negative. but I think it's just all in it, but I guess that's what a value resort gets, right? It's got to have a negative somewhere. Where's that negative at? And it's there.
I mean, overall, though, I think this resort, Art of Animation, is an awesome resort.
Yeah.
For theming, I give it an A+. For food, A+. For it's
what, transportation?
Transportation, I would give a B.
Really?
But only because I really don't like riding on the buses. Like, Disney buses suck in general.
You don't like buses, period.
I think what's bad about buses for me is that I'm always the one that has to collapse and control the stroller and hold all that.
I think that's the problem.
And it's such a hassle on a Disney bus.
It is.
To handle with that, and I just don't like it. So honestly, that has nothing to do with the resort. That has to do with the bus transportation at Disney in general.
Yeah.
Because even when we rode on the monorail, it was better. But we're going to get into a transportation discussion.
You think so? I think we unlocked a new video for you guys.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so with the Skyliner option, that gives it an edge. You got awesome theming. The rooms are nice size. If I had to stay at a room compared to Port Orleans and Art of Animation, I'd rather the Port Orleans room. I just felt more cozy and more comfortable in that room.
I can understand what you're saying.
But theming, I rather Art of Animation. The food court, rather Art of Animation. The gift shop, I rather Art of Animation. Everything, I'd rather Art of Animation, except for the room. The room just isn't that cozy to me.
Yeah.
Either Ariel or Nemo. I just thought Port Orleans room was nicer.
Yeah.
That and the splash pad pool area. The pool at Port Orleans was better than the pool.
Yes, because I know Art of Animation has a splash pad area with Nemo, but it's nothing.
It's nothing like, I mean,
the one at Port. Like they had
like a mini water
park. Yes, this is literally just a splash pad area with like a little bit of water. Probably really good for like the babies to kind of go out there and kind of sit and play while everybody else is in. And I don't even think it's like roped off different. I think it's just kind of open.
Yeah.
If I remember.
Pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
It doesn't have its own section like Photo Intense.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, a great resort, and it feels like home every time we go back.
Yeah. I mean, especially like the smells. I think it's one of those hotels that has a distinct smell when you get in there. I can't even describe it to you. It's a good clean smell, I'll tell you that. But yeah, it's definitely home. I mean, we talk about it a lot. We're going to compare a lot of our other trips.
This time next year, we're going to be comparing Beach Club to every other resort we've been.
Probably so.
And then going through that whole motion, and that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
See the difference there. So
I'm excited.
Can't wait to stay more.
Yeah, I definitely have more resorts just to kind of see what the other ones have to offer. Because we did stay a lot of our art animation. And I think we're starting to venture out.
Yeah.
We know what we like. We know what we don't like. See what they.
I mean, I'm up for everything. I'm up for trying to stay off property, see how that feels and what that feels like. I'm up for, staying at Universal and visit Universal. I'm up for staying at Universal and visiting Disney from being at Universal.
Absolutely.
Vice versa. We haven't really done that. I'm up for staying at All Stars. We have a lot of opinions about all those different places, but we've never experienced them ourselves. So wouldn't mind giving it a shot. I'm not staying at every All-Star, but an All-Star.
An All-Star. Yeah, I think just to get, a feel of it. And we know why they're there, right? I mean, it's for you to kind of, it's a gateway into Disney.
Yeah.
And also once you stay on property, you get the extra perks of like when the extended hours and the lightning lanes. You get the 7 days to book out versus 3. It has perks when you stay on property for sure.
Which lightning lane, by the way, our lightning lane videos are already outdated because they introduced that lightning lane premiere.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do an update on that as well.
That's, but anyway,
yeah,
expensive for what that is. But that's our review for Art of Animation.
Overall, we love it. It's our second home from home. And if you have any little ones, I highly recommend going there if you can, whenever you're booking your trip, to consider this resort, because it's a really good themed one.
Let us know in the comments down below what resort you stayed in and how you liked it,
Yeah. Let us know. I mean, especially if it's the resort we haven't been to, and we should check it out next. Thanks for joining us. See you real soon.